All right, Buster, go ahead and tell me about your first airplane ride.
Well, the first airplane ride I ever had was at a little old airport off the Guest Road. I had ridden over. There's a fella came in there 2 or 3 weeks, I think, on the weekend with a tri-motor Ford, uh, that waffle aluminum cover all over that thing. But anyway, I rode over there to see it and was riding my pony. And that young fella came out there. I believe he had on boots and some kind of jeans or whatever. But anyway.
How old were you?
I must have been 10 or 12, somewhere in that area. I'm not sure which.
So this is about 1932, 1933,
Somewhere
34.
in that neighborhood.
Okay.
But it was a Ford tri-motor. The first one I'd ever seen on the ground. But anyway, I think he was riding passengers for $1 a piece. He would take off and fly and be gone 10 minutes or so maybe. And I can't remember how many he had in it, maybe 6 or 8, or might have been more. I don't even remember. But anyway.
This airport was right next to the Hillendale Golf Course.
That's right.
Off of Albany Street, or?
Albany Street.
Okay.
Somewhere right in there. I'm not sure exactly where. And he's that's the only airplane I ever remembered landing there, but I think there were probably some more, but I just never saw them. I didn't go see them. But anyway, I asked him how much he charged for a ride, and he said, I've always wanted to ride a horse, and if you let me ride your horse, I'll take you for a ride. So I sailed out of the saddle, and he rode the pony around there a little bit and came back. And I tied the pony to a tree, went with him to the airplane, climbed into the airplane, and he took me on the next ride. And I think it was probably 6 months before I ever told my family about it. They would have been scared to death, I'm sure. But anyway, that was my first airplane ride. But the boy, hell, he didn't look much older than me. Young blonde-headed fella, had blonde curly hair. But anyway, I thought he was a pretty sharp fella, get that big damn airplane up off in the ground and back in there, and he didn't have a bit of problem anyway. I think that's the only time I ever went over there, when he was there with that plane. It must have been, I don't know, we must have rode 10, 15 minutes, but I would like to got up, drove around, looked out all the windows, but I sat down. He told me I had to sit down, fasten a seatbelt. So I did, but I was really impressed with that thing.
Tell about your smoking days.
Okay. Well, I had a friend, Clifford, they called him Jack Holloway. He was 2 or 3 years older than me, and his family owned one of these springs that the bottled water, the water was such good quality or whatever. They sold it in 5-gallon jugs, and people bought them. They sold a few, I think, to companies or whatever, but a lot of them are just to families.
Where were the springs at?
Rivermont Springs, out off the Eno River. It was way back, I don't know how far back, but there used to be a place where Durham had and it was city property, of course. They had a dam across the river there, and that had a big place. They backed it up out of the river in a kind of a gully back up by these people's houses, or house. But anyway, the dad of the family owned the thing, I think, but the boy sold the water. He delivered it in a big truck, you know. And, but anyway, he and I were good friends, and I always carried a .22 rifle everywhere I went, a little old single shot .22, and he did too. And it somehow and to talk about it, we decided that I don't know who did it first. Let the other one shoot a cigarette out of his mouth, and then of course they had to, you know, go around. I shot him out of his mouth. He shot him out of mine, and you get about 12, 14 feet away from the person, and at the end of a cigarette in a fellow's nose is pretty damn close.
How old were you at this time?
I was probably a little old. I was probably 12, 14, something like that, maybe. He was, I don't know, he wasn't 20 years old, I'm sure he wasn't.
How many times did you do this?
Oh, that was a regular thing, probably 50 or 60 times, or maybe.
Where did you do this at?
In my backyard, where we live.
Over near Coal Mill Road?
Not far from Coal Mill Road. But it was a big pasture in woods, and that's where we, shoot into the woods. And because when you shoot the cigarette out of his mouth, it's, pretty level.
Was the cigarette lit?
No.
Okay.
Didn't light the cigarette. Neither one of them smoked. We just, my father worked at a cigarette factory at the time, and there were always some spare cigarettes around the house.
Which one did he work for?
Lincoln Myers. He worked there quite a number of years, and they give them a certain amount of cigarettes every day or whatever. That was just part of the deal to get them to smoke already.
How long before you told your parents about that?
Oh, they would sometimes stand out and watch it. They saw that all along. But
okay, you went to school down close to American Tobacco your first grade. Tell about your first day at school.
Yes, I don't know. We lived in town that time, somewhere near the American Tobacco Company. My father worked at Lincoln Myers. But I don't know why I was late getting out of school, but I had some books, or a book or some books in my hand. And when I started home, there was nobody out there. I don't know whether they kept me in for some reason or not. But there were two little boys in the street. They were a little bigger than I was, so they must have been above me. I was just starting. So, but anyway, when I got to them, they started to say something or whatever, but I think I'd been told that the city boys were mean. So I hit the biggest one on the head with my book and kicked the littlest one in the stomach. And then I just was thinking about, should I run? And looked up, and they were both running the other way, so I walked on home. And I found out that's the way you had to survive in school. Don't take no yap from nobody.
What do you remember about Gertie Smith and, well, Gertie Moore is who you knew her as,
Uh,
and Mary Ward.
uh, the wards, there was quite a few of them. They lived in a little settlement up from where I live. This is back when they were close to Coal Mill Road. But anyway, Gertie Moore, I don't know when she started in school with me, but might have been in grammar grades. I just don't remember, but I think she started in grammar grades in the same class I did. She was always a pretty good student. But Dirty Smith, I never was a real friend of him, but this Jack Holloway's, the boy we shot the cigarettes out about, he was some kin to some of those people, is where I got to know Dirty Smith.
Now, you were friends with Duke.
Jack.
Okay, Duke was Jack. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, Jack. But
Hold it. Now, you're saying Jack Holloway?
uh-huh.
No, but Gertie's youngest brother, half brother, was Duke.
Oh, Duke Moore.
Duke
You
Moore,
said
yes.
Gertie, and I
Gertie.
thought you were saying dirty.
No, Gertie Smith,
Gertie,
who was Moore. She became a Matthews, then she became a Smith.
right. Yeah, Duke was her brother, yeah. And I'm sure he knew Jack because they lived close enough together. I think Duke was a pretty fast student too, but Grady was a real good student, I think. But anyway, I got off on that tangent. I thought who you said dirty. There was some fellow that had some kin to some of Jack's people, and his father, they were bad drinkers, and his father had a 36 Ford convertible. And he came out one day and asked me and Jack's cousin to saw off the accelerator pedal to his 36 Ford so he wouldn't get drunk and kill himself. And so we tried to convince him to nail a 2x4 to the floorboard of his car so he couldn't push it so forward. No, he wanted to, evidently there was, the best I can remember, some kind of stop under that you could push down or what, I don't remember just how it went. But he wanted us to saw that off so he couldn't push it down so far. I don't remember all the whys and wherefore, but we did saw it off for him. Because he didn't want to kill himself, I reckon. That was easier than stopping drinking, maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
But one tale leads to another one, don't
It does. How about your goat?
it? Well, that was my first horse, really, a riding horse, was a goat. My father bought this goat for me when, I don't know, I must have been 5 or 6 years old maybe. But anyway, he told me if the goat ever whipped me, he was going to sell the goat. So the goat grew big enough I could ride him just like a horse. My daddy made a bridle for him, and I made a saddle out of some kind of frame out of wire, and used a piano sack for covering for it, but I had the girth on it, stirrups, and all this kind of stuff. Homemade saddle ain't hitting on much, especially if you don't really care what you're doing already.
So you rode that goat from 6 until about when?
I don't know.
Till you got your pony?
Yeah, about 8 or 9, something like that already. I think I got a pony with us about 8 or 9, something like that. It's